31. I'm going to open up the meeting of the Senior Services Grant Commission. Can we have a roll call?
Yes. Thomas? Pletz?
Here.
Nicholas?
Here.
Miller? Krieger?
Here.
Holtz?
Here.
Hill?
Yes, here.
Hart?
Here.
Legowski?
Here.
Delphin? Here. Campbell?
Here.
Altough?
Here. We have a quorum. The first item on the agenda is the review and approval of meeting minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have a second? Dina, okay. Anybody have any changes, comments, corrections? Seeing none, may I have a voice vote? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. Any public comment? Do we have a sign-in sheet?
Yes. Yeah, so here.
Any public comment from anyone in the audience, or are we here just to observe? Okay, excellent. Seeing no public comment, I'm going to veer off the agenda for a moment and give you a member comment. Number one, I specifically asked Scott Hennings. We had great reports about people using the Connect transportation program, which is the Uber program, if you'll remember, which the county actually subsidizes the first $20. We are not getting as many seniors as I would like to see. I'm going to assume it's because they are unaware that we're doing this program. So I think it's important for us as commission members to ensure that we share with our partners in the audience and our other agency partners that this program does exist. Scott has offered to do informational programs at any organization, any partner agency, and explain to people how this program works, but it's phenomenal, and those people that have used it are repeat users and love it. So let's see if we can't make sure that we're promoting it as well as we possibly can.
Ms. Pam, are you talking about Scott Hennings from Transportation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sorry, thank you, Jerry. And Jerry, is this your first meeting?
No,
No,
Second.
Okay,
you were
I'm
absent.
old.
I was adopted.
That's right, I wasn't here.
Pam was.
I wasn't, it's your first meeting with me. Anybody else have any comments? We usually have member comments.
Could I add on to what you were
Yes,
saying?
please.
I'm kind of the one running the show for that program at the moment. One of the hurdles that I have noticed is, and this is anecdotal, I will say, their requirements for joining that program. One of them is having an RTA senior reduced fare card.
Yeah.
That is a little extra level of paperwork that you need to go through. I understand it's not overly burdensome, but it still can be challenging, especially when it comes to the technology. So I would, if you're going to reach out to Scott Hennings, also ask that there's some sort of application material for that specific fare card.
And most senior services entities will allow you to come in and they walk you through it and they'll actually help you do it. So again, we need to promote that as well. I mean, I used it myself, it was great. Walked in, it was all done in 5 minutes. So if people are having difficulty, a little easier for them to get to senior services and they can help them through that process. But
Just want to make sure everyone gets over that hurdle.
Thank you. Anybody else? Great. Seeing none, we go on to the next item on the agenda, which is old business. And we have invited Treasurer Kurtz to give us kind of an update on our investments, where they are. I think this is, I will tell you, I'm personally, as your chairman, I'm a little bit anal about these kinds of things. And I want you guys to know, you're my best advocates for the program, right? You serve on this commission. If you don't know what we're doing and if you can't understand it, I don't have anybody out in the communities that are explaining to people how important this is and the good works that we're doing from the county level. So Donna has been invited. Are you back on, Donna? Hello?
Hey, I am. Thank you, Chairman Altough.
No, thank you very much for giving us the opportunity to get an update from you. The floor is yours, my friend.
Oh, thank you very much. As I proceed, I cannot see you. I know I have the camera on me, but screen share kind of prevents me from seeing you. So please just interrupt me. Don't be bashful, and happy to answer questions, etc. Let's start off with the manager. The investment manager is the North Shore Private Asset Management Company, and he and I work very closely together. His name is Bill Gregg, so I may refer to him periodically. What I thought would be very appropriate for our conversation is to talk about the portfolio. And we're going to give you the money slide right up front, so you right away see what are we doing and how are we helping you in growing your assets. We also then want to look at pertaining the
Donna, you're
as you continue on.
Donna, you're kind of bleeding in and
Sure.
bleeding out.
Yes. Okay, let me put my head real close to the microphone. Is that better?
Yes, thank you.
Is that better, Pam?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
good. Okay. Thanks. Oh, thank you, Pam. Okay. So, let's see here. I'm going to move away from, you guys, whoops. Here, let me move. So the funny thing is I am at a conference in Decatur, and so I'm in the hotel room. You guys are the only thing between me and my husband traveling back home this afternoon. So, my apologies for being a little bit clumsy here, but
None needed at all.
boy.
Take your time, Donna.
all right. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so then I want to give a quick recap of the fixed income market. I want you to have a perspective of what we're dealing with. Our results are only as good as what we have to deal with and how we take advantage of it. So we are bringing some really good talent to the table, but we only have what we have to work with when it comes to the market economy. And then we have strategic considerations and discussion. And in essence, this is, hey, am I doing what you want? And the most important job I have is to make sure in this investment capacity is protect your income. That's number one. Or excuse me, protect your principal. And secondly, give you the money back when you need it. And then thirdly, of course, is generating the highest yield. But we're going to get into very easily the question of when do you want your money back? This is what you told me. Let's make sure that's what we want. So with that, let's talk about the money slide. And so we got 800,000 from you. And actually, right around that April 16th date, we set our Schwab accounts up for you and actually received funds a week later in the amount of 800,000. So we have had this money for about 3 months. In that 3 months time, as of June, we've generated about $11.7 thousand. Not bad. We estimate, with the market being what it is, we've certainly seen some declines. We're looking at a total income distribution of between 13 and 18,000. Keeping in mind that we have an average month maturity. Now, we have some things out longer, some things out shorter, but the average month maturity is about 1.57 months. Now, keep in mind that's because of your need for the cash, so you can make your distributions to your various important constituents in serving our seniors. And finally, the book yield, pretty impressive. This is, taking advantage of what has been in the market. We've been able to generate about 4.91%. Are there any questions before we move forward? Okay. We can always come back to this. I will be sending out notes, Sarah and Chairman Althoff, so you can then distribute them to your team. This, to me, is one of the very important slides. So looking at the interest as it relates to our benchmark being short-term treasuries, you see that we have actually generated a premium in the form of over 0.5% return to you. So, you know, it's a guaranteed environment, guaranteed principal is being returned to you, yet we're still managing to exceed what we get with treasuries by, you know, almost 0.6%. So that was a good thing to be able to report on. Now, where are we going with the market again? Because the environment is what we are going to be influenced by in terms of what we can do for senior services. So what you see is the projection of a declining interest rate. You know, crazy things going on right now, but based on what we know and based on the leadership under Chairman Jerome Powell, we're looking at maybe up to 2 cuts, definitely 1 in 2025, and we're going to see a reduction of 4.31 basis points, almost, you know, almost 0.5 point on the negative side, and that projected easing will continue. And what you see highlighted below is the implied rate being at 3.1%. So what I have told other of the portfolio owners that we manage their funds, what I've told them I will tell you, the longer we're able to lock in, the better. And yet at the same time, we have a very interesting situation with our market, and I'm going to show you the next slide. And that is that what we see right now, this is what we know is that we have a yield curve that at the onset, you see the green, ignore the light yellow line, which is another tracking metric, but note the green, what we call a yield curve line, and you see that in the short term, it's better for you to invest in the 4-month time frame than it is to invest in the year time frame. And you see the time frames down at the bottom of the chart. Now, I'm not seeing your eyes glaze over only because I can't see you, but what I want to help you understand is that what we see. Do you guys see the?
Yes, we just turned off the lights. We can see everything now.
Oh, wonderful! Oh, you guys, you're so techie wise here. I love that. So the yield. What we see is this short duration. Again, keeping in mind that you see the durations at the very bottom of the chart. What we see is at the very height of the beginning is at 4 months, and we see that close to 4.4% return. But then if you're a guy that says, oh, I want to invest out to, let's say, 2 years, you will get under 4%. And so in this environment, what our investment manager has done is he's taken advantage of the short term, and then what he does is then he goes back and reinvests it into the short term so that we can still get some very high returns, even though we're not putting it out further in the yield curve. And so noting that, what we are doing with other accounts, different environment, is we're putting their investments out into a longer time frame and thus getting better returns. Irrelevant to you, but it helps you to understand the value that we provide is based on the environment, our abilities, and of course the requirements that you give us. So any questions regarding this slide? It's kind of not a critical slide, but it gives you some perspective.
None so far, Donna. Keep going.
No, I do have a question.
All right.
Yes, I'm sorry. Donna, just a minute,
I
please.
have a
Jerry?
question, Donna.
Oh, sure.
You're saying every
Yeah.
4 months, it's better to progress and invest every 4 months. Well, 4 months today, 4 months from now, another 4 months is a year. So you're saying every 4 months, the rate would be approximately 4%? And if you do it for a
Well-
year, it's only gonna be 1%?
One of the things
we.
Yeah, no. Interesting question. So let me say this, snapshot. Everything that I show you is a snapshot. The most dynamic thing you'll ever encounter is the U.S. federal economy. Maybe world economy being more dynamic, but so right now, is it every 4 months it's this? No, it's today, or actually in this case, in July. Will it change in August? Yes. Will it change dramatically? Not sure. You know, if we have a new changing of the guard in heading up the Fed, if you followed that story, this yield curve could change dramatically in a matter of a few months. So what you see is what we're dealing with right now, and probably similar to some of the things that Bill has dealt with our investment manager over the last months. So does that answer your question, or you have further questions regarding that?
No, that's fine, thank you.
Hey,
Okay,
Donna,
okay, yeah.
Excuse
I
me,
know-
Donna, John Plutz has a question for you, just identifying.
I know
Oh,
you're
hey,
handling
John.
ours. Hi.
Hey.
Overall, how much money for the county are you investing like this?
We have about 93 million right now, somewhere between 93, maybe 95, something like that. Yeah. And part of that roll-off has occurred because it was with funds, federal funds, that now we're dispersing. So we're not in the business of keeping the money and making money. We're in the business of taking the money, investing the money, making money, and then giving the money back when needed.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, John.
I have to ask one more question,
Sure,
if you don't mind, Pam.
Jerry's got one more question for you.
When I look at my
Yeah.
real estate tax bill, and it's like 0.48% is what McHenry County charges on your real estate taxes. But yet, I learned that 0.25% goes towards senior services. Is that really true or false?
That's true.
So half the money that McHenry County uses is for senior services that they bring in?
No,
Well,
not half the
if it's
money.
0.40
You know what, we levy, every year when we do our property taxes, we levy, I'm gonna look at Adam.
Yeah.
We levy, and we normally got a return of 1.6, now it's 2.1. That's what we receive from property taxes,
Okay.
from the levy for
reason I'm
senior
ask-
services.
Yeah, the reason I asked that question, when I was mentioning it to many non-for-profit groups that I'm associated with, they were saying 0.25% goes to senior services out of our tax bill. Why should we contribute to non-for-profits if McHenry County is using that money for local non-for-profits?
I won't get you an answer about the 0.25, but I can tell you, because there was a referendum that McHenry County passed back in 2003.
The voters.
And it was the community that made the determination that they were going to create a program through the property tax, to assist seniors in McHenry County. That's your answer.
Back to 2003, many people don't
2003.
recall 2003 anymore.
Well, but that's the answer. Why are they doing it?
Okay,
Is because there was a referendum and it overwhelmingly passed, and this is what we're doing. But it only garners 2.1, and we just did that last year. Prior to that, for 20 years, the amount of money was $1.6 million that we returned to our senior communities.
Okay, fair enough.
Adam, did you want to add to that?
No, you know what, at this point it'd be speculation, I'll get you a hard answer. I
Okay,
have
yeah,
a
let's-
theory.
we'll get a
Yeah, I have
hard
theory on
answer.
it, But I'll get you a hard
Right.
answer.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and Pam, can I add to that?
Please.
It's a very, very good question. I just want to mention briefly that what we have seen is inflation dramatically impacting our tax revenues over the last 3 years. And thus, there is an increase in the, revenue that you're getting from the taxes levied. But, one, it doesn't buy as much as it used to. But secondly, people are, in many cases, just getting hit with inflation that is inflating the value of their home, of which if they sold, they would get that money. But at the same time, it's just taxes have gone up and the revenue for senior services has gone up too.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so that is kind of a little bit of a background regarding our economy. And so this is our last slide. And this is very important that I review this with you. So we will be reinvesting maturing securities, but everything we do is going to be focused on the following. We are looking to, and Sarah and Adam, you and I believe Pam had given me this direction, but I want to just confirm that one, at the beginning of October, we are going to be giving you back the $400,000. And then in December, we'll be giving you the other remaining $4,000. In addition, though, you're going to have that interest of somewhere between, a total of $13,000 to $18,000. So, given that situation, I just want to ask you, is that the schedule we want to continue, or has anything changed?
No, we're good. That is the schedule. And let me remind commission members that we passed a policy last year that all the investment return goes into a reserve account, not to exceed 3% of the total amount of money that we have for disbursement. And then the reserve account, the idea behind that is if there is a situation, an emergency situation, and we need to access those funds, we have them, but it never will exceed more than 3%. Otherwise, we'll add it to the total pool of the money that we're giving out to our seniors.
3% of the money that we've made on the money.
No, 3% of the total amount of money that we have available to us, yes. Questions? Thank you, Treasurer Kurtz. We appreciate your time.
Yeah.
Be well.
Oh, my pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Be well.
Oh, thanks. Bye, John. Hey, and
Thank you very
I
much.
do want to say, I was on this committee a few
Yes,
years
you were.
ago, and I think so highly of the work that you're doing. It's vital work. You're making a difference with people who are in desperate need, who don't have access to other funds because of the age situation. So I thank you as a fellow citizen for your time and volunteering on this commission. So thank you.
You are the best. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Take care. Bye, guys. Thank you.
And again, it's one of the reasons why we really try and make our agencies ask for reimbursement on a quarterly basis. It allows us a little bit more latitude to have more funds to invest for a longer period of time. I would say more than 80% are now on that quarterly payment. We will continue to strive for that as we move forward into 2026 as well. Moving on. Anybody have any questions about what we just talked about? Moving on. I'm going through Q2 expenditures update. Who wants it? Maria? Sarah? Maria? Aaron. Dang.
So in quarter two, we received all of the quarterly reports and reimbursements. There were no issues with anything coming in late or anything like that. Unduplicated seniors served increased nearly 29% from quarter one. Service units increased nearly 66% from quarter one. I also highlighted a few projects. Do you mind going to the third slide? Or that slide
Thank you,
right
that
there?
right there. Thanks.
I highlighted two projects with some slow spend down. Habitat for Humanity has about 71% of their award remaining, and then the Harvard Community Senior Center Pearls, 78%. So that is approaching concern levels when it comes to spending all their funding. 2 quarters left. And then, yeah, just pretty clean quarter. No issues with reimbursements or anything like that. And the majority of the projects are doing really well on spend down. Right around 50% is where they should be.
And I will note that it is not atypical for Habitat for Humanities not to have all of their money. We'll get a big, huge ask at the end of construction season. That's usually what happens, so I'm not concerned about that. And then I will let you know that we do have some concerns that we've experienced with Harvard Community Center. You should all note that you're on this commission for very specific reasons. Carrie is remarkable when it comes to reviewing finances and current good standing positions with the state of Illinois. We ran into a little bump with Harvard, and if you'll remember, even last year, there was a new executive director who came on board. There's been a little bit of a bump in the transition. We have them coming in. We will be working with them, and we'll see where we are. When we get to the application review, I might be asking you to give me some latitude about whether or not they come in for a presentation based on what occurs between now and September 19th, our next meeting. Good news, though, in the interim, is that Carrie has pointed out that there will be some opportunity for us to truly develop kind of a financial checklist that we will be using internally. We're going to be working on that for the next couple weeks and see if we can do it. Obviously, will be presented to you for approval, but we're going to do that so that we really make sure that we're looking at every single part of the finances that are submitted by our potential applicants. Okay.
May I say, a few years ago, probably 5 or 6, there were similar issues with them, and the staff went and helped them set up their system, and they've really done a great job since then, so. It may just be a learning.
It is. I think it's a learning. We also, so you know, you had in your we've got a letter from their accountants that are working with them, and we also have a meeting scheduled to have the executive director and a board member come in to kind of go over what's happening and making sure that we're on the right track. This is not a gotcha commission. This is a commission that is here to provide services to other agencies, and we're going to work with our partners. So I don't want anybody to be concerned, but we're going to follow the letter of the law, but we're going to work with people and make sure that we're providing as many assistances and resources as we can. John?
I didn't keep, I made the comments as I went through. There was one that was going to use a lot of the money for remodeling, and is this the one that's doing that? Is the one,
No, not Harvard,
which is the
no.
one with the food shed over here?
That's Woodstock, and we'll get to that too. But right now, I want you all to know that that's currently the situation with Harvard. We have internally kind of made a decision that we're holding off on reimbursement until we're sure that they're in a position to accept that money and use it appropriately. And then that too will have some kind of consequence on whether or not that application goes forward next year. Okay? Any questions? Good. Any other reports, Eric, on this? Any other comments, or are we good?
No, unless anyone has any questions.
Okay, moving on to new business. You did see in your packets that Eric Ruth did resign. I will tell all of you, when he agreed to be the township supervisor representative, he looked at me and he said, 1 year, maybe 18 months, and I'm out. He has young children. He's very engaged in their activities. But we do have with us observing today Gary Barla, who is affiliated with the Township Association. We will be sending him a letter today after this meeting, noting that we received the resignation from Mr. Ruth and that the Township Association, Supervisor Association, needs to appoint a new representative to this commission. And hopefully by September 19th, we will have that individual and we will have gone through an orientation, et cetera, and they will be joining us on the 19th, okay? Moving on, we have the pre-application grant and agency selection, and that should be in front of you in your agenda packets. So let me talk and then we'll have a conversation. Again, we have a transition going on in this department. And we're finding good things and we run into a few bumps. So in our attempts to do due diligence, we had 2 applicants that did not provide us the 990 form, which would indicate their not-for-profit status. We then removed them from the applications you were scoring. Subsequent to that, we've met with them and we have discovered that they do in fact meet the requirements and should be considered for senior services dollars. So we're just going to let them come and make presentations on the 19th. Because it was so late in the process, I felt you weren't going to have an opportunity to truly review those applications appropriately. And I wouldn't be able to explain written what I just said to you now. So we're doing our jobs, but sometimes we do them so well, we discovered that we didn't do them as well as we thought. So the veterans grant, as well as the, what was the other one? The housing, for the dental program, they will be coming back and you will be hearing from them and you can ask questions. So they are included, but we did not score them. And again, I just explained to you about Harvard. So as we determine who goes forward, I would ask that whoever makes that motion includes a caveat that depending upon the outcome of our current meetings, you give me latitude to invite them or not invite them to make a full presentation. Other than that, we have a total of 17 potential grant recipients. Is there anyone looking at the scoring or after your review does not want, it's easier to go at it this way than from the top to the bottom. Is there anyone that you do not want to come and make a presentation? And if you look, the lowest scoring, which I'm not going to say out loud, but you can see number 15 up on the screen. That's the way I look at it, is I look at the ones who receive the least amount of support and have a conversation on whether or not you think that they should come forward or not. Now, 15 is the Woodstock Pantry. And you all probably looked at that the way I did, which was with a gasp. We did ask them to come in, and we have met with them. They are going, if you consider them worthy to come and make your full presentation, they are going to revise what they're asking for, and it will be a new consideration. They did not really understand the limitations of what the money could be utilized for. We have met with them and explained what that parameter, what those parameters are. That's why they will revise it. It will be lower than the $500,000 that they originally asked for. And they really do now understand the point. They have agreed to, which is part of the application process, but they have agreed to track only for seniors. We made that clear that they would have to be doing something like that. So they are prepared, if you agree to let them come forward, they are prepared to make kind of a new presentation to you and revise that application. And so we do that a lot, just so you guys know. I mean, Sarah, Maria, and I sit and we kind of go through things and we say, this doesn't look, have them come in. And if you remember, we did do that with Habitat and several others, so we try and work with them.
We should allow it. It's their first year applying. They probably weren't aware of the details of what they need to do. So
They weren't.
I'm very comfortable having them redo their proposal and using the money for other things within their program.
Okay, Ms. Hill.
And a little bit of background, I don't have a lot, and I'm still looking into it, is they've been, and the reason they're asking for remodeling is they've been asked to leave the Door Township building because the Door Township building's services for seniors is expanding so much they don't have the room to house the food pantry anymore. So they are looking for a new location for the food pantry. So I think we need to hear them out, like you said, and see what we can do.
I personally would appreciate that. I think they came with all the best intentions, but again, first time that they've really, and this is a volunteer. This isn't anybody who went to school to learn how to write grants. These are volunteer organizations and they're individuals who just want to do good for their community. So I would appreciate that as well. I support that myself. So my recommendation, looking at our list here, is just to invite everybody to come in and make the presentation and give you an opportunity to ask them the questions that you want to ask them about how they're utilizing the money, why they're asking for what they're asking for, et cetera.
Could I ask a general question?
Yes, please, Jim.
Well, really two. 3 million is being requested, and we only have 2 million to distribute, correct?
Right. I was getting to that. $3 million ask, $2 million give out.
My question to many of you here, you made commentary like you know some of these organizations pretty well, either by visiting them or having a one-on-one with the people in charge? Is that what each one of us are supposed to do on
No.
this committee?
No, the familiarity is that many people have been on this commission for a while and they've made presentations to us, so there's some familiarity with that.
Okay.
Then again, you have to understand who sits on this commission. You know, you have board members, you have people who have been part of their community very closely for a very long time. But if you would like to go see any of them or visit any of them, contact Sarah or Maria and we can arrange that for you,
Okay.
right? If you want to
For
go
example,
and
my-
actually have that opportunity.
My church is on the food pantry board, and we're active in giving money through my church, so that's why I'm aware too. So just our activity in the community is when we know more. My
But-
son used to be a Pioneer Center client, you know,
I mean,
stuff like that.
I know some of these agencies only because they're Algonquin Lions Club.
Of course.
Many of them.
And you will,
So-
and when they make presentations, you will become extraordinarily familiar by the questions that are asked by these members, what they're doing and how they're serving seniors.
And then my last, well, it's never my last question, but nevertheless, other non-for-profits like Rotary clubs, Knights of Columbus, even Lions Clubs organizations, none of those non-for-profits get any piece of the pie for this. They do their own fundraising, et cetera. We donate their McHenry County services as is illustrated right here.
Ours, I would point you to the website, Jer. The Senior Services Commission is very limited in who they can consider and for what, right? And
I read
so,
some of
so
that.
all of these other organizations, if they're asking Rotary and Lions, they're doing all of that fundraising outside of this body.
Very fine.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, all we do is consider their specific applications and they're asked for very specific programs.
Because a lot of the not-for-profits will ask, well, if the county's already supplying this, like I mentioned earlier, why should we have a fundraiser and donate our monies towards that organization? Like the Pioneer Center is one.
Hands down, and we let Pioneer explain that,
Very
right?
good.
And that's why we invite them to make a full presentation, so you have the opportunity to ask those questions when they're right here in front of you, right?
Yep.
And that's why we ask them about what they're doing for fundraising, so that we know what efforts they're making out in the community as opposed to just depending upon taxpayer dollars.
Exactly. Okay.
So if that's okay with all of you, what I would look for then is a motion to invite all of the applicants to come forward on the 19th. Typically, we give them about 15, 20 minutes and then questions. Actually, it's about 10 minutes and then we ask questions for about 10 minutes. 5 minutes, I think, well, in total. 5 minutes they have to actually make a presentation about their program and then they have a 20-minute slot.
Great. I so move.
And then you give me the caveat about Harvard Food Pantry. We'll
Yes.
write it for you.
Yes.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second
Second,
from Peg? All right, and I'm going to ask for a roll call if I can, Eric, for this vote.
Did you say Harvard Food Pantry?
I'm at Woodstock, I apologize. I
Thank
was Harvard Community Center, sorry. Too many balls.
All right, roll call. Pletz,
Yes,
Nicholas,
Yes.
Krieger,
Yes.
Holtz,
Yes.
Hill,
Yes.
Hart,
yes.
Legowski,
Yes.
Duffin,
Yes.
Campbell,
Yes.
Altough.
Yes. Motion carries. Excellent, thank you. We will let everybody know, and moving on to the next item, it's going to be crucial that you guys are here on September 19th. That is the date scheduled for the full presentations. I need a full body so that we can have vibrant conversation and inquiry. So please make sure you're here. And if you're not, let me know. I actually remembered after I said, is she on the phone? Ms. Miller is also at a conference this weekend, so that's why she's not here. She will be here on the 19th. I had a choice of today or the 19th. I chose the 19th. Which also then brings us to the schedule for 2026. We have not yet kind of done that. The question for all of you is, do you still like Fridays in the morning? Does that still work? Is that what we should still shoot for, 10:30s on Fridays?
I just have to say, out on Friday, many people make plans, you know, vacations, trips, short travels, whatever. And I always thought, why on a Friday?
Well,
I mean,
w-
the
I can tell
majority
you
are
how
here
it's,
on a Friday, but I'm just,
I can tell you how it started, and then I could also tell you we had this conversation, but I always offer it.
okay, I was
It
not.
started on a Friday because that's when we could get a room here at the county building. There are
Oh.
committee meetings every other day and all day. And that was the only times that were really open for us to use this facility and then to have the access to IT.
Okay,
I was just checking at 10:46 last night, I got invited to my oldest daughter's wedding celebration, September 20th.
Well, if you have to leave on the 19th, I mean,
It was a long drive.
we'll note and we'll miss you.
Yeah, we'll miss you.
And here's my standard comment to people. 20 years from now, this commission will not remember that you weren't here. Your daughter will remember you weren't there. So I think you know which one to make the choice.
I know, but it's bothersome.
And that's what we'll try and do. We, again, will throw out a schedule to you, and if you can look at it and give us some feedback, and we have to make revisions, we'll try and do that. But, life is life, and stuff comes up, and we do the best we can, right? So we will do that. And it'll be somewhat similar to what it was this year. We only have 5 meetings, that's all you have to commit to, and we'll try and schedule about the same periods of time. And that's not to say there's not a lot of work that gets done behind the scenes, as Carrie will attest to soon.
Great.
Okay? All right, anyone have any comments, offerings, announcements? I will just say again, it's a pleasure to work with all of you. It's gonna be a toughie. Again, as Jerry so quickly noted, there's $1 million void in our asks. And even with Woodstock Pantry coming in less than that original $500,000, we're still gonna be short. And so remember my standard philosophy, I would like to provide enough funds to organizations that they can make those programs work, rather than giving a little bit to everybody and making nothing work. So remember that. Okay?
good point.
Motion to adjourn. Ms. Hill?